All right, welcome back. Some breaking news coming in. This is related to the same-sex marriages. That debate is back once again. Right before the key Supreme Court hearing, the centre has now filed an affidavit, and in the same, they have opposed same-sex marriages. They have filed an affidavit and written to the CJI and the bench to dismiss all the petitions seeking legal recognition of gay marriages, citing their maintainability. In fact, the centre in its affidavit basically says that same-sex marriages, quote-unquote, are an urban elitist concept, and according to the government, it's far removed from the social ethos of the country. That's exactly what the centre told the Supreme Court. In fact, the extension of the concept of marriage, according to the centre, is beyond heterosexual union, tantamount to creating a new social institution. Harish, my colleague, joining us live on the broadcast. Harish, over to you. Take us through what the centre has said in this affidavit. It's very clear that the centre is opposed to the same-sex marriages, and once again, they've given it in writing to the Supreme Court, calling it this time an urban elitist concept.
Yes, that's right. You have very correctly put it. In fact, this is the second affidavit filed by the centre opposing the concept of same-sex marriage. And incidentally, this comes a day before the Supreme Court Constitution bench is set to take up the matter. This affidavit raises preliminary objections before the scheduled hearing before a five-judge bench led by Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud from tomorrow. The centre has in an affidavit questioned Supreme Court's competence to entertain petitions demanding extension of the concept of marriage beyond heterosexual unions, and said it was tantamount to creating a new social institution. The government, opposing the demand for recognition of same-sex marriage, has dubbed this such marriage as an urban elitist concept, far removed from the societal social ethos of the country, and in fact and also societal ethics. And the affidavit goes on to say the competent legislature will have to take into account broader views and views of all rural, semi-rural and urban population, views of religious denominations, and also personal laws as well as customs governing the field of marriage. The affidavit said the marriage is an institution which can be created, recognized, conferred with legal sanctity and regulated only by the
hold on to that thought. Harish, I'll come back to you. Priyank Kangnur of the NCPCR chief rather, is also on the phone line with us. Morning, sir. Thank you for joining us on Times Now. Sir, we're getting to know that the NCPCR has also moved the SC. They're also against the legal recognition for same-sex marriages. Could you elaborate on the reasons for the same, sir?
देखिए, हमको जो सेम-सेक्स मैरिज वाली पिटीशंस चल रही हैं, उसमें कुछ लोग ये चाहते हैं कि बच्चों के अडॉप्शन के लिए भी वो परमिट किए जाए। तो हमारा रिजर्वेशन उसमें ये है कि जो अडॉप्शन रेगुलेशन है भारत में, और जो जुवेनाइल जस्टिस एक्ट है, वो जिस तरीके की परमिशंस अडॉप्शन में देता है, तो देयर आर सर्टेन रिस्ट्रिक्शंस कि अगर कोई सिंगल मेल है तो उसको फीमेल चाइल्ड नहीं दिया जाएगा। सर्टेन एज की कुछ क्राइटेरिया है इसमें, तो हम नहीं चाहते कि उसके साथ किसी भी तरीके की छेड़छाड़ की जाए। पार्लियामेंट का बनाया हुआ एक्ट, इसलिए हम सुप्रीम कोर्ट में अपनी ये एप्लीकेशन हम लोगों ने फाइल की।
जी सर, पर काफी लोगों का कहना है कि सेम सेक्स मैरिजेस में अगर कोई बच्चे अडॉप्ट भी करता है तो उसमें गलत क्या है? व्हाट डू यू मीन व्हेन यू से कि उन्हें एक लिमिटेड एक्सपोजर रहेगा? बिकॉज एनी विच वे द ट्रेडिशनल जेंडर रोल टुडे आर चेंजिंग इन अ चेंजिंग सोसाइटी।
देखिए, एनसीपीसीआर का जो रोल है वो जुवेनाइल जस्टिस एक्ट के इम्प्लीमेंटेशन की मॉनिटरिंग करना भी है, और एज ए कस्टोडियन ऑफ राइट्स ऑफ चाइल्ड ऑफ चिल्ड्रन हमको ऐसा लगता है कि डेटा एक्ट में भारत की संसद में जो कानून बनाया है उसमें अगर कोई बात लिखी गई है तो हमको उसकी रक्षा करना है, इसलिए हमको।
जी ऑल राइट सर, ये बात भी बताइए कि आर यू अगेंस्ट सेम सेक्स मैरिजेस? क्या आप उसको अपोज कर रहे हैं, या फिर एनसीपीसीआर ने जो एफिडेविट या जो रिस्पॉन्स किया है उसमें सिर्फ उन्होंने अडॉप्शन के बारे में लिखा है?
हमारा जो एफिडेविट है उसमें हमने अपनी बात कोर्ट में कह दी।
जी, सो सर, आर यू अगेंस्ट सेम सेक्स मैरिजेस या सिर्फ अगेंस्ट अडॉप्शन? बस ये क्लैरिफिकेशन मैं आपसे चाह रही थी थोड़ा।
हमारी जो भी बात है, हमारे आयोग की जो पॉलिसी है उसके भीतर होते हुए माननीय सर्वोच्च न्यायालय को अवगत कराया।
जी, आप कह रहे हैं सर कि जो अगर आपके ही एफिडेविट से पढ़ा जाए तो उसमें लिखा है कि जो अडॉप्शन है वो जो सेम सेक्स कपल्स के अगर बच्चे अडॉप्ट करते हैं तो उन्हें ट्रेडिशनल जेंडर रोल की जानकारी नहीं रहेगी। जेंडर रोल्स
हमारा जो रोल है वो अंडर 18 तक के लिए डिस्कस करने का है। अंडर 18 तक में जो बच्चों के चाइल्ड राइट्स को लेकर के हमको बोलना चाहिए वो हमने बोल।
जी, पर अगर आप बस ये एलैबोरेट कर सके सर कि ये जेंडर रोल्स पे आपको क्या लगता है कि कैसे उन्हें अंडरस्टैंडिंग नहीं
देखिए, हम कोर्ट में जो बात कह चुके हैं,
ठीक है,
वो बात कोर्ट तक रहने दीजिए।
All right, thank you. All right, so point taken. Thank you for joining us. This is, of course, Priyank Kangnu, NCPCR chief, literally reiterating what their affidavit in the court says, not really saying anything more than that. Harish is still live on the broadcast with us. Harish, over to you. Take us through really this affidavit which has been filed by the NCPCR as well, because the NCPCR also is against the adoption of children by same-sex couples.
Yes, the affidavit filed by the NCPCR also is in line with the centre's stand. It has opposed any attempt to legalize the same-sex marriage. The National Commission for Protection of Child Rights has moved Supreme Court against the legal recognition for same-sex marriage and has told Supreme Court that adoption of children be not allowed by the same-sex couple. The affidavit goes on to say the children raised by the same-sex parents may have limited exposure to traditional gender role model which could impact their understanding of gender roles and identity, and exposure of these children would be limited and their overall personality growth would be affected. So this is a very significant statement made by the NCPCR in the Supreme Court in the matter, and tomorrow it's expected that NCPCR's lawyer will also say that they also be heard while the Supreme Court hears a batch of petitions which have sought legal recognition for the same-sex marriage couple.
Right, and you know, Harish, let's talk about what the centre had to say, because the centre has also, in an affidavit which they filed in the Supreme Court, have opposed same-sex marriages. Take us through really the reasons which the centre has given for the same.
Yes, Centre has given several reasons for that. Centre has questioned, in fact, questions Supreme Court's competence itself to entertain petitions demanding extension of the concept of marriage beyond heterosexual unions, and has said that first, before the hearing on merits, Supreme Court should hear preliminary objections raised by Centre.
All right, so the Centre wants the SC to hear their preliminary objections first. Thank you, Harish, for joining us with all these details.